WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. Just, watching some good Hawks hockey, I guess.
It's weird. Like every other week, it's like, yeah, watching some dog shit hockey, watching some good hockey, dog shit hockey, good hockey, and games that they shouldn't be winning, and then games they're losing that they should be winning.
Yeah, it's like every time they start to get made fun of, then they're like, "Hey, fuck you!" like we can win. All right.
Well,
we don't need to, but okay.
Also, what's very interesting is what the league is learning too is if you're somehow connected to the Patrick Kane trade situation, is don't go trading for somebody right before you play him, because he will come and shove it up your pooper, and make sure you realize that you made a mistake by not picking him up. We've had some vintage Kane performances this past week. Lots to talk about with Kaner, lots to talk about with Taser. And I think real quick, we should just get into the news that dropped about 20 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Hawks made their first trade of trade deadline season.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Technically.
The first trade in the realm of the deadline.
So the Blackhawks picked up Zaitsev, 2023 second round pick.
Mm-hmm.
A 2026, what was it, fourth round? Yeah, fourth round pick for good old future considerations.
Third round. Wait, fourth round. Yeah, I'm like, where is it? It's not even 2026 even listed on Cap Friendly right now. Like, where the hell is it?
Yeah. So basically, what they picked up was they got a second round pick, fourth round pick for taking technically a year and a quarter of Zaitsev's contract. It's a good trade in terms of it's going to help the Hawks get to the cap floor next year. It's going to ensure that the Hawks have some defensive bodies that can play, just in case guys that we've talked about potentially being available in Jake McCabe, Jack Johnson, those guys get dealt. So we have someone to step up right there, and you're not completely going with the young guys and fucking with their development a little bit. What did you think of the trade?
I mean, it's great. Ottawa fans are excited because there's $4.5 million coming off the books, and I guess he's not the greatest defenseman, which is great for us because we want to lose some games. And like you said, if we're going to be moving some of our defensemen at the deadline, this gives us the option of not having to bring up more of the young guys just yet. Plus, he's got another year on his deal, and we've seen kind of recently how the less pressure to win, some of these guys have been stepping up. So next year, if he shows anything, hey, deadline 50% retain, get something back for him. It's a good move.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play well, good. We're not trying to win anyway. And you don't have to re-sign him after the next season, but it's another defensive or another body on the defensive side that we could use before all of our defensive prospects are basically ready.
So he's played 28 games this year. I don't know, because I honestly have not followed or really thought about him this year at all. So 28 games at all, 28 games this season, no goals, 5 assists. He's a -5 out there, 8 penalty minutes. Yeah, averaging about 17 minutes of ice per game, 43 blocks, 61 hits, 13 giveaways versus 3 takeaways. So yeah, not going to be in the Norris consideration anytime soon.
No.
So this is exactly the type of moves that you're going to be wanting to see, and you're going to be seeing probably for the next 2-3 years, maybe. As long as the Hawks have cap space.
And the Hawks have cap space.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we were saying. It brought him up to 16 million at deadline space.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, 16. So I mean, we could potentially take on even more bad contracts, even with 1-year deals or something like that. Teams that really need to move a guy to make something work for their playoff hunt this year.
if the Hawks aren't going to be making some moves, like if let's say a deadline comes and goes, like Toews also isn't going anywhere. We mentioned, or I don't know if we haven't mentioned that yet, but
We'll get to that in a second.
That's like one contract that would have likely been like a cap retained, and Kaner's another one. Like he would likely be a cap retained contract. If neither of them end up moving, and the Hawks could have the space to help broker a deal somewhere else and get just free assets for cap space.
Exactly.
And like we have so much of it. It's just like, yeah, whatever, man. Like who cares?
And right now we're up to 7 picks in the first 3 rounds of this draft, which is being considered one of the better draft pools in a long time. And you have to imagine that that's just going to get more. We're going to get more picks in that, potentially another first rounder if Kane decides to get moved. I definitely think at least 1 or 2 second rounders coming with Lafferty. It's being reported that the asking price for him, McCabe, Domi, like these are all. I mean, we are going to be in a really good spot coming this draft.
I hope so. I mean, even the second round pick that we just got from Ottawa is a 42nd, so that's like not too far out at first. But we even saw with what the Hawks did last year during the draft when they picked up Peter Mrazek, is like they used a second rounder as well to move up into the first round. So like just having extra second and third round picks can help you make maneuvers into more first round picks as well. Like you don't have to just hold those picks to use those picks. You can use those in the trades as well.
Right. Yeah.
It's great.
Up the value. Yeah. I mean, Kyle Davidson so far, I know it's a very small sample piece right now of what he's been doing with this rebuild, but I mean, I think he's passing. I think he's flying, like doing great. He is making the tough decisions to move guys that knew the fan base was not going to be happy about. But what he's doing with them, he stuck to his guns. He got the draft picks he wanted for them. He was able to get the prospects he wanted for them. And we are in a much better position because of it. We talked about, I think last episode was before his first or after his first draft, or whatever, the Hawks were ranked 25th in overall prospect pool. And this year, like 6 months later, they're up to 5. And that's one draft with
pretty good,
with very few picks that he had to regain because of Bowman. Now he's got a surplus of draft picks, including potentially a top 3 pick.
Potentially. And the greatest thing about this whole trade is the fact we gave up nothing. we gave up nothing, and we got a second rounder in a really good draft, a projected really good draft. So great, love it, excited.
Love it. Let's go. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about. You want to talk games, or do you want to talk about the other stuff going on among
Let's talk games first.
Games. All right. So the Hawks played a lot of hockey since we last recorded. I believe it was 5 games. They finished, what was it, 3-2?
3-2.
3-2.
Just as everyone expected.
Everyone expected it. Yes. Written up. And I feel like every time you count the Hawks out is when they go and they fucking just turn it up, which is so stupid in a season like this. But they kicked it off with the Valentine's Day game in Montreal and lost 4-0. I remember watching this entire game and I could not tell you one thing that happened because it was just bad hockey.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but just looking at like even just the team stats, it doesn't seem like it was anything crazy. I can't remember if I watched this game or not actually. It's just, I don't know. I got too much of of the recent games just like stuck in my head.
Yeah, it just wasn't good. Then they go the next day, they face the Toronto Maple Leafs, who my favorite stat, I think this might be my favorite hockey stat now, is that going into this game, the Toronto Maple Leafs were the highest betting favorite in NHL history. Like that is saying something about your team when you were looked so poorly upon that they set a new record for how big of a favorite they are. I mean, they won. So, I mean, they were right, but
they were right. They scored 9 seconds into the game.
Yeah, William Nylander, right?
Yeah, it was after seeing the whole biggest favorite ever. I was like, nah, man, it's Mrazek revenge game.
Yeah.
And then he gave up a goal 9 seconds in, and I was like, I guess revenge game's canceled.
I know, it was super funny because I was golfing that day and I get the text like, all right, Mrazek revenge game, and literally like a minute later, yeah, you can cancel that game. I'm like, what the fuck happened? The game just started.
Sorry, 1-0.
But
I didn't even see this, but the Hawks out hit him 42-25.
I mean, Toronto's kind of soft, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you can take advantage of Toronto a bit. Also, Austin Matthews, it was his first game back after the injury that he suffered like pre All-Star break.
2 points, not a big deal.
Yeah, it picked up just completely fine.
I did like Sam Lafferty though, answering back pretty quickly, tied back up very quick. Was what, a minute, just over a minute into the game that he scores. The ties it up. Austin Matthews makes it 3-1. Kurashev gets on the board again. 46 seconds into the second.
Did Lafferty score a shorty? I think he scored a shorty this week. I don't know.
I don't think this game. No, I'm pretty sure he did. I don't think it was this game though. No, it wasn't.
But actually, because I'm just watching like the highlight of the goal. It's funny that both goals came on the first shot for both teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that was the first Hawk shot, and Nylander clearly the first Leafs shot. So I wonder when was the last time that ever happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
What a weird way to start a game.
Lafferty scores a shorthanded goal the next game against
That's what it is. Okay.
Ottawa. Yeah.
He's tied for league lead in shorthanded goals with like 4.
Dude, I think we're selling ourselves short by asking only for a second round pick for him, man. I think he needs a Hagel deal.
Yeah, right. He's gonna come out and get a Hattie. That's still the funniest thing to me. Hagel scores a Hattie, and they go, "What do you think the trade value just have?" He's like, "I think 2 firsts." Tampa's like, "Yeah, he's right.
He's right," and we'll toss in 2 players on top of that just to be safe.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
That's in the NHL when you do like a ridiculous trade offer, and it's like, I'm gonna say yes to this before you
change your mind. I mean, Hagel has been probably one of the better players on the Lightning, which is crazy. I think he's still like way up there in points. He might have over like 50 right now. He's really fucking good. He's so good. Man. He's so worth it.
He wasn't here for a long time, but he's got 47 points.
He was here for a good time. Yeah. 47 points.
Yeah, 22 goals, 25 assists.
I fucking forgot what it was, but somebody recently had posted basically every team's like WAR percentage of their players on the hockey subreddit, and it shows like offensive WAR, defensive WAR, just like regular WAR percentage, and like Hagel's is like in the 90s, like everything, and I was just like, yeah, he's so good.
See, I'm so glad we got Radish out of that deal. Yeah, I'd be really upset. Like, yeah, I'm happy for the 2 first round, but also like not like being able to have a player. Yeah, that makes it so much sweeter. But yeah, then the only other theme really from that game was Kurashev gets his 8th of the season. Hawks lost that one 5-2. Fast forward to the following Saturday, Hawks were in Ottawa. Kaner. This was right after Toronto Maple Leafs traded for Ryan O'Reilly, who Hawks allegedly, I mean, he came out, there was things came out saying that Toronto wasn't an option, but there's also reports saying it was him in the Rangers, blah, blah, blah.
Well, Kaner even came out saying, like, don't believe everything you hear. Like, I don't think Toronto was a place he really wanted to go. But it's funny. It's funny that when the rumors leak that Kane wants to go somewhere, St. Louis turns around and cucks him. It's like, man, with the quickness, Kaner's really thinking about going to the Rangers. Hey, here's Tarasenko. Yeah, whatever. Just give us whatever. Give us whatever. And then Toronto comes out like, oh, Kaner's thinking maybe Toronto's like the only other option. Hey, wait. Here's Ryan O'Reilly. Just take him. I don't care. Just take him.
There is I can't remember which episode we talked about it, but I've pretty much fucking called that. I said, I guarantee you St. Louis is going to fucking screw us over and we're not going to get Kaner's like trade value because of it. And I was all excited when they both got hurt. So I was like, all right, cool. That's not an issue. But No, Kane's got to wait.
Oh
Got to
yeah.
think about his future. Blah blah blah. Grow up, Kane. Accept the trade.
Oh,
But yeah, so Kane puts up two goals against Ottawa in this one. He was just that's a couple games. He's just been on a pissed off. I don't know why, or I mean, I guess you know why he's pissed off, but vintage Kane is essentially what
yeah.
I'm saying here. Holy shit. He scored 44 seconds into the first on that one. Then the Hawks go down 3-1. Lafferty gets the shorthanded goal in the third to make it 3-2. Kaner ties it up with just under 5 minutes left in the third, and then Anthony Ciu puts his 12th away, which I was very surprised he has that many because I kind of feel like
What game are we talking about?
Ottawa.
Oh,
Which one did you think you're talking about?
I was looking at Toronto and I was just like 3-1. What has happened? It's like
The Sunday Toronto?
no, because we were just talking about Toronto. But yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, the Hawks were down 3-1. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anthony Ciu gets his 12th of the year, which I was very surprised that he actually had that many because I kind of feel he's been like irrelevant out there. Like I've kind of forget about him. He's kind of getting the Tyler Johnson treatment a little bit where I forget he's on the team.
He's been making moves. Like it even the last game, I just noticed him a lot where it was a lot of opportunities to take the puck wide, and he's just like, no, I'm gonna cut to the middle. Like, oh, all right, and like it worked like half the time. But yeah, like you said, vintage Kane though. Oh my god,
What game was it that he scored a goal and it got waved off because he ran into the net?
Athanasio.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
that Toronto
know.
on Sunday, but it was so funny because it was like,
Oh, was it this past week? I thought you were talking about like way earlier in the
no,
season.
no.
It
I
definitely
think
happened earlier in the season.
it happened this week. Like it's so funny. I'm watching it. And I'm just like, he's straight up the Money Ducks kid. Like he's so fucking fast, and he can't.
He's Luis Mendoza.
Luis Mendoza, yeah. Like I'm like, holy shit! I'm watching that, and he's like, he scores the goal, and he's like throws his hands up, and he just like head down because he knew it right away. He didn't even look at the ref. Like he just skated away. It was so fun.
I swear to God, he should just wear a cowboy hat during warmups and just fully embrace the Luis Mendoza.
Oh my god, so fun. Yeah. So the Hawks win that one overtime, 4-3.
Just like everybody thought would happen.
Everybody thought would happen. I was hoping for a little bit more from DeBrincat too, but maybe he's saving his revenge tour for
the 6th
when he's in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then that brings us to Sunday. Oh no, pause that. I got my dates mixed up. The Ottawa game was Friday.
Yeah.
And that was before the trade. So Kane was pissed off and going all out before the trade even happened because that dropped late Friday.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, it was like a late night move. It was weird. But he
angled at tweet.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
In that Ottawa game.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was just because I don't know, probably because they were in Canada and they were just in Toronto. And they were the biggest favorites, and like just probably a bunch of people saying Kane's not worth it, and he's just like, yo, fuck this place. Like,
do you think he pays attention to that shit?
I mean, it's impossible for him to not hear about it because all he's heard probably this entire season is like, where do you want to go? Are you thinking about being traded? And he's the media comes for him anyway, even if he doesn't have like social media. Like they're gonna ask him all the questions that are like everybody's mind. Like it's fucking annoying, I'm sure.
And then did you see earlier in the week they were asking him questions and it was like about like essentially trades and all that kind of stuff. And then one of the reporters accidentally called him Toews, and he goes, yeah, I wish Jonathan was here so he can answer some of these questions and get you guys off my back a bit.
Man, that's great.
And then what I wanted to ask too, when we were talking about the whole Toronto stuff with him, you were saying like how he came out and he said, it wasn't really an option. Don't believe whatever you. Do you think somebody came up and was like, hey, you kind of like showed a little too much emotion about with your Ranger comments about not going there. Let's spin it back a little bit. Like, let's not go. Or do you think he generally did not see them as an option?
I think that like he probably just generally didn't see them as an option. I think everybody else out there is like, that would make so much sense. Like Kane and Matthews, like together, like two American boys in Toronto, like they love playing against each other. It's like, yeah, like they love the competition. I'm sure he would love to play with him on Team USA, but like I don't think he's like, I'm dying to play in Toronto.
Right.
Like, I don't know. The more it lasts, like the more I'm on your side of like I don't think he's going anywhere, which I think is great. I like both options.
I don't see it. I mean, we could talk about this in a little bit, or if you want to get into it now. Let's recap the game. There's 2 more games left. We'll get it.
Yeah.
So then Toronto comes back. They're in Chicago this time, and everybody's prepared for it just to be another shit show game. I was like,
Ryan O'Reilly,
Ryan,
he playing?
yeah, this is his first, like, second game with the Leafs. Patrick Kane again scores the first goal of the game.
Yes.
And Tavares ties it up literally about 2 minutes later on the power play. And then it was all Kaner.
Yeah.
Back-to-back goals in the second period make it 3-1. This first goal they almost the hat trick goal they almost disallowed.
The hat trick goal was the one that like he banked in off of Samsonov.
Yeah.
And it was just like I honestly, like when he was going around the back of the net, I was like, oh my God, please, like lacrosse move it. I just don't think he like thinks like that, because obviously he's an older player and
Dude,
never tried to add that to his repertoire. But I was just like, oh, do it, and then he throws it off the back of him. I was like, all right, well, that works.
It's Patrick Kane trying to do the Michigan is like the Steve Buscemi, like, hey, what's up, young fellow kids or whatever, like that.
Yeah. Shows. Oh my God,
you could trade for me.
It's funny because like even thinking about like the older players, like Sidney Crosby tried to do that before, and he tried to do it with a backhand, and that would have been wild. But
he's got no curve. Of course, he could do it with his back. Kane can do it too. Kane's got no curve on his stick. Like I don't understand how those players play with that.
It's one of the craziest things about this game that I noticed too was Toronto was basically, it seemed like they were afraid of Kane. Like if you watch like the first goal, like he just carries the puck into the zone and they give him like a bunch of room because they're afraid that he's going to find somebody and dish it off, and then he just ends up shooting it through the defenseman and scores.
It was legitimately vintage Kane. Like,
yeah, like every time he touched the puck, he had space because like they didn't want to get burned, and I was like, okay, like he's going to just still do stuff with it. Like, sounds great.
Yeah, it sucks because it's like he shows these like glimpse of his old self and the problem he can still be in this league. Oh, yeah. and all that. And then it's like, so then you're like, all right, well, cool. Use that as value. Let's move him. Let's get him, and then we can bring him back type of thing. But then at the same time, it's like I understand bringing him back would be awesome. Like we trade him, we bring him back. That's cool. He'll still retire a Blackhawk. There's just something about like him and Toews retiring as playing only for the Hawks, you know, like the Makita type of situation. Like that is what I personally, as a fan, as a selfish reason, I would much prefer that.
I've said before, it's like I'd rather just have him chase franchise records.
And then seeing games like this against Ottawa and then against Toronto, it's like I don't want to like not watch that.
No.
Like we've been so spoiled with good hockey from him over this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's like now that it's like potentially gone, it's like we're just remembering it. We're just like, oh no, he was so good. He's so good.
Yeah, he's insane. Fucking, oh my God. Goal Gutmann also got his first goal of this game.
That's right.
Game winner, Goal Gutmann. It was a great goal too. I think it was also funny the fact that like Max Domi assisted on every one of Kane's goals, and then ended up Kane ended up assisting him on the empty netter. Yeah. Another situation when Kane corralled the empty netter. Kane gets the puck in the defensive zone. 3 guys collapse on him, and because he just like held it for a second, looked up ice, and Domi just flew up the boards and he just sauced it over to him. He had a wide open lane, just takes it and scores. It's just, that was the kind of stuff where like they really showed a lot of respect to like what Kane could do.
Yeah. So I'm just watching the Gutmann goal.
I'm watching it too because I was trying to remember which one which of his 2 it was, and it was it was a rip and a half. I remember when it was like going down and I saw the shot, I was like, who the fuck shot that? And I was like, oh my God, Goal Gutmann. No way.
Can we also talk about how
oh,
like the
so
big
good.
win this game was that it was on ESPN Plus and Hulu exclusive, and so there was no Chris Vosters and there was no Leah Hextall, like
Yeah, it's
double
pretty great.
win.
That was
Let's
good. It was a good
go.
win.
Yeah,
Gotta
triple
love it.
win. Hawks win that one 5-2, just like we drew it up.
Yeah.
Revenge game against Toronto comes in
Jackson Stauber.
again.
It's insane to me that like so
What, 4-1 now?
Cole yeah 4-1 Cole Gutmann, huge goal, game winner, and like I'm vibing with Cole Gutmann now too because like he's got a lot of confidence ever since that goal. Like you saw his play in the game yesterday, Vegas. There we go.
Yeah.
He was getting a real confident. That's when he ends up scoring there too. But got him collegiate player that just ended up not signing with the Tampa Bay Lightning, who was like a 6th-round pick, and Jackson
That's right.
Stauber,
I'm
another
trying to figure out
collegiate
where we got
player.
him from. Holy
Yeah,
shit, I forgot about
he just
that.
went on. He just didn't sign with Tampa, and then Jackson Stauber was an undrafted player coming out of Providence, playing college hockey, had a good season last year, and he's playing great here. And I'm just like, hey, free stuff. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think our scouting department is just so good too. I mean,
It's easy enough that with like those kinds of players though too. Like they show they have a good like last year or so in college, and you throw them an entry level deal and be like, hey, here's the next level. Like prove yourself. Let's see what you
yeah,
can do. And like you didn't waste a draft pick. You're just kind of using a roster spot. But I mean, plenty of those to go around, really.
right. All right, so then that means Vegas is the last game on our little recap tour here. I did not watch this one, so if you watched it, I will let you
Yeah,
handle it.
it was a pretty good game. The amount of times they repeated Vegas's record against the Hawks, I was like, yes, I get it. We are not good against Vegas. Like it's something like 11-2 in something I don't know. I was like, yes, I understand. Vegas has beaten us a bunch. Like that's not anything new. Whatever. I didn't get to see the first goal Vegas scored because I was kind of floating around my house doing stuff. But saw the Cole Gutmann goal. It's another where he just flies up the ice, does like a forehand backhand, leaves it 5-hole on the goalie, and just he motors, man, and he knows how to finish. And I'm really excited to see what more he can do because this is 2 goals in his first 4 games, and he's been playing on a line with. It says he was assisted by Johnson and Red. Okay, so he must have been out there. I think it was in the middle of a change because he's not on Tyler Johnson and Taylor Radish's line. I don't know who he's playing on a line normally with. It must be like Reese Johnson and
Well, Reese Johnson was out that game.
was he?
He's in concussion protocol. I think they put him in that right before the game.
I'm just trying to think of who would have been on his line because like the third line is Athanasio, like Lafferty, Dickinson. Oh, he must have been Kachuk and Blackwell. Or wait,
They
what?
have him as they have him as the center for Tyler Johnson, Taylor Radish on Cap
Was
Friendly.
he?
That's what they have on Cap Friendly.
Man, weird.
Let me see.
I don't remember who was playing on what line, but he was noticeable out there. Um, Jack Eichel just scored a really good goal just to kind of show that he's still pretty good. I'm surprised like he hasn't have more points, but I don't know. Vegas is weird. Where I don't like when they
Vegas
traded
makes
for him,
Vegas makes
his
a lot of
line mates
sense.
were supposed to be Pacioretty and Stone, and neither of them can stay healthy.
Yeah, so according to Charlie
Romeliotis.
Romeliotis, he had Tyler Johnson, Gutman, and Radish.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I like that. Um, I don't know. Like the third period was like very okay, but when the Hawks went and had an empty net, I was like, oh, okay, like Vegas is going to score. Like that always happens. But the Hawks ended up going on the power play because Pietrangelo had a delay of game, threw it over the glass, and Tyler Johnson scored like right off a face-off. And I was like, no fucking way. Assisted by Kane too. And then well, in overtime, man, in the dwindling seconds of overtime, Patrick
Controversial.
Kane fucking rips a clapper with no time left and gets disallowed because it was in the air, not crossing the line with like 0.1 seconds left. And it was just the wildest ending. I was losing my mind. I was like, I've first of all never seen Patrick Kane like take a slap shot like that often. And the fact that he sniped it so hard, I was losing my goddamn mind. It was amazing. And then they're like, well, doesn't count. It's like it's probably the greatest goal this whole season that hasn't counted. It's like, god damn, dude.
Should the NHL adapt the NBA policy if the puck is in motion at the horn,
No,
it still counts?
no. So then it's gonna be some weird shit where it's like throw the puck in the air,
Yeah,
right? And just like bat it around. So, like no.
And then I was asking you this too before we started recording. I'll just put it out there for the listeners. Have you ever seen a team down so bad in the season that they are parading around a disallowed goal highlight so much as like something like the greatest thing that's ever happened? Like it's so funny. Like you think that was the game-winning goal as many times it's been on social media for the
It
Hawks.
should have been the game-winning goal. Like it was.
Oh, I know
it was
it's sick goal, but it's
insane.
just so funny that they're just like, "Hey, yeah, you guys remember this goal last night? It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
the outcome of the game, but hey, look at it."
I mean, the Hawks played a great game though. Mrazek had a great game. It went down to a shootout. Tyler Johnson ended it. He had a good game, man. It was a fun one to watch. I thought that Max Domi was going to murder somebody because he got a misconduct against Keegan Colasar, who is way bigger than him, and he does not give a shit.
Always a
But
psycho, man.
yeah, he is a psycho, and I love it. But yeah, man, Hawks played great. It was a fun game to watch.
Is
I
Phil's streak still going, by the way?
Phil's streak, yeah, it's still going. You would hear about it. It would be like, oh, the streak finally ended, but no, it's still going. God damn, dude, it was great. I love it.
All right, 3 stars of the week.
Max Domi had 8 points.
Yeah, that was about to say 1 goal, 7 assists. I think that puts him at 2nd star though, because I think 1st star you got to go with Vintage Kaner, like just
Vintage Kane, yeah.
Hattie,
And then 3rd star, you got to go Cole Gutmann.
Yeah, Goal Gutmann.
First NHL goal, and then it was a game winner, and then he also scored another one the next day.
Yeah,
Pretty good
stuff. Feeling it. I mean, it's excited. Like I think we said this a couple times, but it's like if you're watching these games, and especially ones that have like guys making their NHL debut or like young guys that haven't played a lot with them, that could potentially be a part of the future plan for this team going forward. Maybe not like superstar level, but hey, the role guys and all that kind of stuff. And you're watching these games,
solid roster players.
Yeah, and they're doing good things like Gutman is, and Reichel when he came up and he had his awesome like 2 games before getting sent back down. It's like these are the things you got to really take in this season, and those are the positives you have to look at.
Yeah, there's little minor parts of the team that are very exciting to watch. Like if the team's not winning, that's fine.
Big picture. So yeah, I guess then that really leaves down to a couple topics here for Hawks talk. The first one being the big news about Jonathan Toews. Essentially came out that he is dealing with long COVID and still dealing with side effects of his chronic. Oh fuck! I thought what chronic immune. Why am I blanking on this right now?
It's chronic immune syndrome. I don't remember.
Immune response syndrome.
Yeah, immune response syndrome.
So basically he's been out and he's been still dealing with that.
And long COVID,
which I don't know what that is or that if that's really a thing or not, but
I don't know, man. It's if you're still just feeling bad. Like that's the one issue is you can't really tell like how everyone is going to react to something that we've never experienced before. So
people are overreacting about something that there's not enough research on yet. Wow, surprise.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Like let's but yeah, so essentially he said that he's out. He's trying to focus on, he still thinks he's going to play hockey this year, and he's hoping it will be sometime in March. which brought the question then what's his future hold for the trade situation? And Kyle Davidson said that due to uncertainty of his health, they will not be seeking a trade for Jonathan Toews. So that kind of puts out a couple of questions out there for Toews. It's like, one, will he play again this year? Like, are we confident we're going to see him again? And two, where does he go from now? Like, does he try to sign an extension with the Hawks? Does he try going somewhere else, or does he hang it up at the end of the year? I mean,
a lot of questions, not a lot of answers.
yeah. I mean, personally, I don't know what your opinions are on it, but it's like I think for how much he struggled the past couple of years with dealing with this illness and everything, and it's almost not worth it for him to keep playing. And it's like I think the smart decision for him might be to hang it up. Like his legacy is secure. His legacy has been made. He is going down as one of the best two-way forwards in the game, one of the best centermen in the hockey. He's got his Stanley Cups. He's got his Conn Smythe. He's got his Selke. He's got Olympic gold, World Junior gold, World Cup gold, World Championship gold, U17 gold. Like the dude's a winner. Like whatever he did, and it's just it sucks that it's got to go out that way. And it's just like the curse of the Blackhawk, like that 2010 Blackhawk team, or like just the Cup teams. It's like not a single player yet. I guess Keith technically has.
Keith was kind of like, "Hey, are you coming back or are you retiring?"
Yeah, so but it's like
like we need cap space. Can you retire?
nobody has really retired on their own terms. Like they were kind of forced into retirement.
Yeah, other than like Hjalmarsson.
Yeah, that's true.
But Hjalmarsson got traded to Arizona and then was like, "My body hurts.
Fuck
like
this.
I don't know if I can really play that much right now.
But
Like this shit is hard on me."
Do I want to
Like,
see?
he's even playing in Sweden right now, actually.
Right.
Still, so
Playing in Sweden is more appealing than playing in Arizona. Let's just put that out there.
well, I mean, if I'm sure Sweden's also just like gorgeous.
Oh yeah. But the mullet, man, the mullet.
Yeah, he's missing out on that though. like that place is a wild, wild place.
But yeah, so it's like I don't know. What are your thoughts about Toews in a whole situation?
I don't know, man. I don't see him just like quitting. He's such a competitor, and knowing that he probably feels like he has a lot left in the tank. It might just be like, you remember when like Mike Fisher like just didn't sign a deal
until
playoff time.
Yeah,
I can see him do that, like not sign, but like leave the door open, just kind of take it easy. I could also see him just fucking signing a deal. Like I know that he wants to even just try and come back for the end of this season.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, like if you can make it.
Does it hurt his legacy at all if he tries to keep playing and he does like that Mike Fisher style deal where he just signs with a team in the playoffs for like like the last half of the season or something like that? Or is it like, because I don't know, like I've always felt weird about that. Like,
no, I mean, well, Mike Fisher was also signing with Nashville. It wasn't like a different team. I don't know if Toews would actually sign with like a different team.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like that's not something that seems right.
you do that when would a team really do that? Like,
yeah, whether like I don't know what teams out there are like, yeah, we'll keep a roster spot open for like when we make a playoff push and you can come in towards like the deadline. Yeah. Like usually it's like a guy's very well acquainted with the team and the ownership, and yeah,
maybe Winnipeg. Maybe Winnipeg would be open for that just because he's from Winnipeg. Their GM, what is it?
Sheldayoff.
Yeah, was around in the beginning of his career out here. I don't
know. We'll see.
Yeah, and then the other thing I have, we already kind of talked about it, was the whole Kane situation. I mean, is there really more to touch on yet? We should have an answer in the next day or two if he's gonna be willing to move.
I mean, he's gotten to see Toronto like this past week twice. Apparently, one of the trade destinations for him. He gets to see Dallas tonight, another team that wants to push for him. Got to see Vegas yesterday, another team that's interested in him. And it's like Dallas, it's really funny that like right before the trade deadline, the teams that are interested or he's apparently interested in are the ones that we're playing. It's kind of like, look at this team that you could be playing for that we're playing against. Like, I'm surprised, like, we're not playing Carolina or something.
Dallas, I think, is out. I don't think they have what the Hawks need or want in a return for him. They don't have a first round pick this year. So, I mean, right there, that's out. Unless they're willing to take a first pick next year.
Or a prospect.
But who are their prospects? That's the thing, too. It's like, I don't know.
Let's see.
Edmonton apparently, too. I was just reading this. Edmonton apparently made their pitch for Kane, and it's essentially on him now. Which I guess everybody can say that regardless, but
they had Dallas had a first round pick that they used last year at 18th overall, left-handed defenseman named Leon Bischel. Which, I mean, if they just want to collect like a first round prospect, like, you can do that.
Do we need defense though? That's the question. We need more offensive prospects at this point.
Yeah, maybe. But that's like the only guy that they have in their system that's not signed. That's a first round pick.
And then the other thing too, that is why I'm considering Vegas out of it, is apparently like his dad is always at home games. It's documented all the time, and that's very important to him. And his dad doesn't fly, so he drives from Buffalo to Chicago for every homestand. So
that's
it's like
crazy.
It's insane. So he wants so if it means that much to his dad, or to him to have his dad at his games, unless he's gonna like drive his dad out to Vegas and just set him up and be like, okay, you don't leave Vegas for the rest of the year. Like, it's to people, it's like little stupid things like that, but it's not stupid at the same time. I mean, those are things like you got to consider.
When you get to choose your destination, like, you consider all the little things like that. Like,
yeah. Even if it's only for 2 months or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. The more that trades happen and the more news comes out and kind of looking at other teams, it's like, I'm just not convinced he's moving.
I feel like he was saying that he'll make his decision like 7 to 10 days out of the trade deadline, just in hopes that like the teams that he was like linked to would just make moves before that even happened.
Kind of be like, oh no.
Damn. I'm so emotionally torn up that Tarasenko went to the Rangers. Honestly, I think Rangers were probably the only destination that he probably would have accepted.
I thought it was Rangers or bust. I really did.
If Buffalo,
I keep saying it, but like, it makes sense, but it doesn't at the same time, but it makes sense.
If they want to take a shot, you know, like,
because they're not far out, aren't they?
What's their fucking record currently? It's just because the East is such a monster at this point.
I think they're close to a wild card spot.
Buffalo also just got murdered by Toronto, so I don't know. They're 60 points and they're 4 points out of the wild card.
I mean, they're there.
Which Florida moved up to the wild card.
They have 5 the Islanders games in hand. They have 5 games in hand on both wild card teams.
Yeah, it's possible. I
mean, Buffalo.
Kaner gives them a push.
Kaner and
Buffalo has like their first plus prospects. Buffalo has their first in 3 seconds. Jesus Christ.
Buffalo trades for Kaner, and I would order that the goat's head jersey in a Kaner 88.
I wish it would have just been like that really nice white and gold one. They have
jersey
18 million in projected cap space as well. Like, if you're Buffalo, like, take a shot. But they also need a goalie, man. I don't know how they think they're going to be doing this with like a 23-year-old, pretty much rookie. Actually, he is a rookie. He's only played like 27 games. And Craig Anderson. And then Eric Comrie, like a career backup.
Anaheim apparently is looking to give Gibson a fresh start. Pick up Gibson and Kaner at the deadline.
I mean, you could get Gibson and then he can be your goalie of the future. That wouldn't be bad. And then Kaner as a rental for like a quick little pop at the playoffs and see if you can make some noise. I
don't think Buffalo makes that trade though without some sort of extension agreed upon. I think that would be
for Kane.
Yeah,
I think for Gibson.
Gibson didn't sign for a minute though.
Oh, wait, I don't know. Does he not have a? He's got more like tenure or whatever. I can't think of the word.
Gibson.
Oh, he's got more term. Yeah, he's got like 4 years after this year.
Yeah. So he's
That
got.
wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fucking
Buffalo could be
just
good.
do it, Buffalo, and give us a first.
Come on, your
And
football team.
first plus.
Your football team isn't pulling it off. Let's take some of that money out of the football fund, put it into the hockey fund, and get a good hockey team again.
Yeah,
They're all
jeez.
owned by the same people. I don't know if you knew it.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
Yeah.
What else? What else could they give us? They have like a lot of. Oh, they have like so many prospects, but I don't know if any of them are good.
Do you take Jeff Skinner's contract on?
No, he's actually having a not bad season. It's one of those not bad years for him. He's
Well,
got 54 points in 52 games.
They have the most cap space in the NHL too.
Yeah, until next year when they have a bunch of deals kick in. That's when Tage Thompson kicks in, Dylan Cousin kicks in, Samuel or Matthias Samuelson, his deal kicks in. That's what, let's see, like
That's
18 million altogether.
Yeah.
And they only have 16 and they have 18 million in projected cap space currently. So that's why like it would make sense to just like get a rental like Kaner.
Yeah.
And maybe get Gibson. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
But I don't think Buffalo's gonna do that. It would be great, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
All right. I got nothing for hot stock.
Great. I got a question for you then.
All right.
Out since January 1st, the Blackhawks have like an okay record. I'm gonna let's see. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna ask you who has a better record, and you tell me if it's the Blackhawks or this other team.
Why do I feel like all the answers give me the Blackhawks?
It's not, but all right. So Blackhawks or the Predators?
Blackhawks.
No, Predators have a better record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Blackhawks.
Fucking fallen.
Blackhawks or the Avalanche?
Avalanche.
Avalanche have a better record. Yeah. Blackhawks or where's the other one? The Jets.
I want to say Jets, but I feel like because Avalanche are catching up to them quick, so I'm gonna say Blackhawks.
Jets. Okay, so this is the only reason I did that was because like I didn't want to throw it too far off. But it's only the Jets, the Predators, and the Avalanche are the only teams in the Central that have a better record than the Hawks since January 1st.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Hawks also have a better record since January 1st than the Golden Knights, the Flames, well, the Stars, obviously, because I just mentioned that, and like the Capitals. What other surprising teams? Penguins, Sabres, the Wild. Yeah, it's crazy. They're tied. They have the same record as the Red Wings right now, and it's basically like 15th in the league.
So
the Hawks have been killing it.
Good.
Also, the Hawks haven't scored a power play goal in weeks.
Yeah,
I think they're like 0-21, and then recently, I don't know, but it's weird. They've been scoring like an okay pace like over the last couple of weeks. It's like when they win games, they score goals, and then when they don't win, they're not scoring at all.
Wait, I don't believe that because in the last 5 games they have a 6.3 power play percentage.
Yeah, I said last 21 chances. I don't know. Maybe they had
you originally said you originally said weeks. So
okay. Well, because it was like during the Vegas game or one of the games recently, they were like the Hawks are 0 for 18 in their last 18. It's like, yeah, okay. Or you could just say like the Hawks haven't scored a goal in their last 18 power plays rather than.
Also, I looked it up. Their record against the Golden Knights is 11-2-2, or the Knights' record against the Hawks is 11-2-2.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
So it was 11-2-1 before last night.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, they had our number on a team that's declining. Like, it's funny. I don't know. Like, it's crazy to me. I was like, the Hawks have been just doing so weirdly well.
Power play goal was the one.
Oh, fucking game tying goal.
Yeah, there it is.
That's why I didn't remember because I heard the whole power play thing leading up to that one. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Oop, there it is.
That's funny. It's just I didn't. Jesus Christ. The Dallas Stars are 7-6-6 since January 1st.
Well, that's what I was saying. Colorado is just turning it up, and they're getting healthy too. Like,
Yeah, Landeskog's been skating, so there's that. Let's just move on to NHL talk then, huh?
NHL talk. I just have a couple quick notes here. Vegas put Mark Stone on the LTIR, freeing up about $9 million in cap space at the deadline, which is why all the rumors for Patrick Kane started, Timo Meyer started, blah, 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 blah. Vegas, fuck Vegas. I'm like so done with Vegas and their bullshit. I don't know.
But... Oh, shit. I forgot for Hawks talk.
Go.
I was looking at the draft board currently, and it's kind of funny because you know how like St. Louis has been cucking like Patrick Kane. So they got a first round pick from the Rangers and they got a first round pick from Toronto. And right now, if everything were to end and everybody were to like not move, it's kind of funny. The end of the first round, pick 27 St. Louis, pick 28 Chicago, pick 29 St. Louis. And it's like, okay, so we either have to make a trade with New Jersey so we can get pick 30 and make a longer sandwich, or we make a trade with Vegas, get pick 26, and it goes Chicago, St. Louis, Chicago, St. Louis.
There is also one report I saw too, a rumor that St. Louis might be taking that assets they've been getting to try to go for Timo Meyer.
That'd be hilarious. I mean, do it. Fucking do it. Because I do not care if San Jose gets better like draft picks, because like San Jose, like they're in the West, whatever, but they're in the Pacific. St. Louis, do it. Get out of the bottom 10, have no shot at the lottery, don't make the playoffs, and I don't fucking care.
If St. Louis somehow wins this draft lottery, then we are officially in a nightmare. Like, that's the holy trifecta of fuck you, Chicago, from St. Louis. Or St. Louis just jumps above us at all.
Yeah, that's the last cucking of the season for Patty Kane. That'd be awful.
Yeah, so, okay, other real quick things on NHL talk. We already kind of mentioned it, the Toronto trade of Ryan O'Reilly going to Toronto. He's been fitting real well. Got a hat trick against Buffalo the other night. Fucking let's go. Forgot I still had him in my fantasy, so that was awesome.
Yeah, didn't he score his first 2 goals like right away?
It was like 37 seconds apart.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. They were really quick. It wasn't that he scored his first goal in his first game. It was just when he did score his first goal, his second one came like right afterwards.
30 seconds later, something like that. So yeah, part of that trade was also what was it?
Former Hawks legend Adam Gaudette.
Yeah. There's Minnesota just randomly in there taking on salary to get a draft pick, which is hilarious because of their cap situation.
Yeah, the fact that they're taking on salary for a team that like has so much dead cap, they're like, let's just add on to it.
Yeah.
But there was like a thing going around saying that like the real money that they spent for that 4th round pick was only like $75,000 or something.
That's worth it.
Yeah.
That's good value.
I mean, it's not like, yeah, whatever. Your cap space is weird, but like you're really only spending like 75,000 on a 4th round pick. Like, all right.
Hey, again, it's Minnesota. It's a Central Division opponent. Let them make questionable decisions. Target. Rangers make another trade. They brought back Tyler Mott from the Ottawa Senators. They traded what was it? Julian
Gauthier.
Would never have gotten that from that. And then a 2023 7th round pick conditional. Conditions if New York Rangers advance to the 2nd round of the playoffs, the pick will upgrade to the lower of the Rangers 2023 6th round pick from either the Rangers or the Jets. I love conditional picks. I really do.
I get so confused because they use different terminology when it comes to conditionals. So it says the pick will upgrade to the lower of New York's 2023 6th round picks. But so then I'm going, because I have all their trades for Rangers right now. So now I'm going to the St. Louis one. It's like 2023 1st round pick will be the later of the 2023 first of Dallas or Rangers.
There's just no consistency.
So just lower mean like the better pick or lower valued pick, like the later pick? Because why would you say later? Why don't
I
you say
think
like
it's
the
probably the
earlier?
lower.
I
Yeah,
I
no,
would like, why not use the term earlier pick? It's fucking annoying.
I think lower means like
Or
lower.
say the better pick of that
Which
round.
yeah, that
Like
would make more sense. Yeah.
when you say lower, like I don't know, like what do you mean lower? Like the lower number, as in like the sooner one, or like the lower valued one? Like I don't understand.
Somebody at Cat Friendly, please respond to my email and get on the show and explain all those questions that we uh,
Oh, it's frustrating.
another trade that dropped today. Arizona Coyotes add to their all legend team by adding Shea Weber and a 2023 fifth round pick from Vegas Golden Knight for Dyson.
Dyson Mayo.
Who I thought was kind of being. I thought I've heard some stuff like he was a decent prospect or like a
He's
fair
just like
good or
okay.
okay.
I think it's because his name's easy to remember. When you see Mayo out on the ice, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, with this going up as a recording right now, we are 8 days, 17 hours, 59 minutes, and 18 seconds away from the trade deadline. Things are going to be get crazy, I think, here soon. We're just in the eye of the storm right now. You got teams building up, cap space like that. Apparently, the Bruins have a deal in place for shit, defenseman from Columbus that I was like, why is he getting as
Nikita Zaitsev. No. Vladislav Gavrikov.
yeah.
I
They're just
was just,
waiting to make
oh god.
they're just waiting to make another move apparently to happen that trade is gonna revolve around the Boston Bruins first round pick. So lots being discussed. It's just it sucks because nobody has the cap space at the moment, and you need teams like Chicago, like Arizona, Vancouver to brokerage deals.
Yeah.
Um,
You
so
got to
yeah,
give some shit up. It's like it's tough for the teams that want to make those moves because they also probably don't want to give up much, like in terms of like this draft coming up.
yeah. It just
Like,
it sucks because it's like this is when you go back and being like, oh, this hard salary cap sucks, and it like I feel like it's really crippling, the league because like thing people love about like NBA is the ridiculous trades that they make at the deadline. Like apparently there's like just a whole list of fucking trades this year at their deadline that were just absolutely insane. I don't know anything about it in terms of NBA because I couldn't tell you the last time I followed the NBA
yeah.
like player wise, but it's like they have the luxury tax situation, and it's like I wish the NHL would do something with that, but at the same time, you kind of go back to the days of just buying championships like that. Like I don't want the NHL to get to the NBA where it's like they're just buying their
Oh yeah,
title.
like the MLB basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know.
There's there's what was it? There was at one point like one player making more than like an entire like Pittsburgh like
Dude,
Pirates like roster and shit.
that's
Like
like a
it's like, oh my
chunk
god.
of the LA Dodgers. Like a
Yeah.
good, I think there's like 3 or 4 players on the Dodgers that make more money than like 2 or 3 teams' entire salary.
Yeah.
It's insanity. But yeah, I mean something's gonna give. I just don't expect those like crazy like holy shit trades to happen until the cap finally goes up and the escrow's paid off, which will probably be after next season.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned, but this coming week, Dallas, San Jose,
Oh, yeah,
Anaheim,
for the Hawks. Yeah.
Arizona. I was just thinking about it. I was like, I don't remember if we mentioned it or not, but yeah, a lot of away games coming up.
They're about to play Dallas right now. About half an
Yep.
hour out.
And then it's March.
Then it's March already. Holy shit. Crazy. Time flies.
Yes.
I thought the season was gonna drag just for how
No,
bad. But
yeah.
it's been an entertaining season, I have to admit. For as bad
It
as the Hawks have been
has.
doing, it's been fun at times.
They need to do worse.
Yeah.
Honestly, like they're already at the point where they're gonna be bottom 10 in the league anyway. It would be great for them to be dead last just because of like the percentage chance. But
Is it the
if
bottom
they're
2 or the bottom 3 you're guaranteed a top? Is it if you're the bottom 2, you're guaranteed a top 2 pick or a top 3 pick? I always get this confused.
what
So if you finish
if you're dead last, you're
and
guaranteed top 3.
it isn't if you're the bottom 2 teams too? Isn't the or the
Well,
bottom?
you can only move back 2. That's it.
Okay, so
Because
you
it's only the 2. You can only move back 2. That's all.
Okay, so the Hawks need to finish top 2 or bottom 2, essentially.
But yeah, if they finish second and then 2 teams move up, they move to 4th.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
That's all it is.
I can't do my math right now.
It's just the last 2 picks are the lottery picks.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a fucking West Coast trip that they might end up winning a bunch of games. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Last thing I have for NHL talk is just McDavid is a fucking freak.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
800 career points. Same night that Leon Draisaitl gets 700 career points. They have to do everything together. I think their last couple like big point achievements like that, it's been the same day.
It's funny that his 700 career point mark was the beginning of this season.
Yeah, because he's at 105.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was the last time we ever fucking saw that happen.
I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
McDavid, what the fuck? And
this time next year, he's probably over 900 already. Like,
and here's what's crazy is that he's not even gonna come close to Gretzky's like assist or points record.
I don't know. We'll see what the longevity is like.
Yeah, wow, that's nuts. Holy shit, I didn't even think about it that way. Is that what you said? 105 already?
Yeah.
In 58 games, 57 games, 56.
He probably has the best. I mean, currently best chance at reaching total points to Gretzky's assists.
Yeah, that's unreal. Let's see all time. I just want to do this really quick and see.
Yeah.
For some reason, you can't see records on NHL.com. I get bad message every time.
Oh, weird. I don't even know where that is.
Oh, view the stats.
Oh, records.nhl.com.
Oh,
works for me.
Fuck. All right, whatever. What's Gretzky's assist again?
Fuck. I'm trying to find it. I'm just gonna. You know what? This is why I just go to
Page Hockey Reference.
Yeah, Hockey Reference all the time.
1,963 career assists.
1,963. Damn. Yeah. Why not? He's already at 800. He can easily hit 900 next year, and then he could probably finish the season next year at 950, and then he's pretty much halfway there, and it would only be what nine seasons.
Old. That's insane to me. That's just mind blowing. I don't know. McDavid,
he's a freak.
Fastest kid alive. All right, I got nothing else. You got anything?
Nope.
All right. Episode 213.
McDavid is already 180 on the all-time points leader list.
He's just wasting away in Edmonton.
Yeah.
All right, what are you gonna call it?
Oh,
this might be my favorite segment. Always is you being surprised. Episode.
I'm just trying to think. Like, should it be like a Kane or? It should be Goal Gutmann. No.
Goal Gutmann.
Welcome Zaitsev.
Let's see. We talked about Zaitsev. We talked about Toews.
Oh, the greatest goal never scored.
There you go. I like it. Greatest goal never scored. I like it. Ooh, that was a good one. That might be your best one in a minute. Holy shit.
I think so.
So much creative hat on today. All right.
It always fucking catches me off guard. I'm so
All right, it's episode 213. Greatest goal never scored. It's for Jarom. It's Tanner. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Social media at WCB Podcast. And yeah, buckle up. Lots of trade news going to be coming in the next week or so. So yeah, we will see you on the next one.
All right, love you boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.